LambdaGeneration.
Greetings! Sometimes mod developers don't really want to explore another perspective or another story within the Half-Life universe. Sometimes they want to take us out of the Black Mesa research facility and have us experience something else. Many mods have tried this. You got mods like Cry of Fear, Half-Rats, and the upcoming Starlight, who all take you on a completely different adventure, and the only thing that they kind of have in common with Half-Life is its engine. And maybe a few textures and models. Another mod that's trying to do something different from the lot is called Half-Life War, a mod developed by Cambreaker. Don't let the Half-Life bit in the name deter you. Its story actually has nothing to do with Half-Life at all. Instead, you play as Tony Snyder, an ex-Navy SEAL who joined a secret organization called TSO. They specialize in taking down terrorist organizations. And that's exactly what Tony Snyder is going to do in Half-Life War. You infiltrate and take down terrorists in several different missions taking place in different locations. As you can tell from this brief story explanation, it has absolutely nothing to do with Half-Life. Have I got your interest already? Good, because we're gonna dive into this mod's development history so far. Because there is quite some stuff to talk about. Now, the mod isn't fully out yet. But there is a demo. And you bet I played it. So let's get into it. How does a mod like this actually get started? September 29th, 2018. There was a small sliver of light creeping through the darkness of the cold abyss occupying this space. And then, there was life. A mod was born, and it was named Half-Life War. Hear it cry. Hear it come to life. What will be its first words? Hey, look at this! Another shitty Half-Life mod. By a random guy. Not really what I expected, but sure, we'll just roll with that. Any first words are, beautiful. This post basically announces that the mod has started its long development journey alongside some key information about the mod and what it's going to be about. It's not going to be related to the Half-Life story and will have its own. At this point in development, you're an unnamed commando that's going undercover to take down terrorists. No name yet, and no other story details are known yet. There is also an announcement for a demo that will be coming at some point in time. When though, we don't know yet. All we know at this point is that the mod exists, and that it's already been worked on for a little bit. There's more to come. Oh, and a small little trailer released for it as well to show off what was already done, and it definitely looks like a more primitive version of what we're going to see in the future. A proper young mod in early development. October 22nd, 2019. More than a year later, we got the first actual progress update. According to Cambreaker, several levels are near completion and only need a few more improvements for the demo. Included in this article, we got about 7 screenshots from some pretty basic looking maps, but it's a good start. There's also a video here that shows off that a lot of little details throughout the map can be shot and destroyed. Kinda like Fear. Only on Gold Source, so it's gonna be a little bit more limited in scope. Another thing shown off here is the main character's bedroom. This is where the mod is planned to start at this stage of development, and it's based upon Cambreaker's actual bedroom. In the video provided, we can also see that Gordon's arms have been replaced by that of our new main character's arms. They still don't have a name yet. More custom weapons are going to be added as well according to the update post. A cleaver is shown and planned, an AK-47 is going to join the party, and friendly soldiers are going to make an appearance in the mod as well to aid you in firefights. All in all, a pretty good first progress update, even though it came a full year after the initial announcement. It's now the 18th of February 2020, and we got a whole bunch more to talk about here because a lot of progress has been made. The story for Half-Life War has been rebooted entirely and is now a lot more refined. That's probably some of the biggest news in this progress update. Our main character now finally has a name. Tony Snyder. He's a part of a secret organization called The Hole. This was alluded to in the previous media update actually. A terrorist group has stolen a cargo ship and they're now using it to transport supplies to all of their bases. The ship is currently sailing towards Quincer Base and Tony has to intercept the ship and take it back. And everyone on the ship apparently has to die. And that's basically the story at this point in development. A whole bunch of screenshots are shown in this media update. We got one from a city setting, which is going to be part of the introduction map for the mod. We also got some screenshots from an Arctic setting. The mapping work here is actually a modified version of the Half-Life 2 beta map called Demo-Arctic. Some smaller things reported on in this media update is that the pistol and SMG got new sounds, and the SMG got a new and improved model as well. Something else that was said is that the demo that was planned is now actually going to be a unique slice of gameplay. Something that's actually not going to be in the final mod, but something that's going to be kept separate. So it's kind of like its own little mod. Oh, and let's not forget the teaser that was posted here. The teaser shows some gameplay from the Arctic area of the game, and it has a bunch of custom voice acting going on. No release date for the full mod nor the demo are known at this point. Some big news in this media update from November 7th, 2020. The demo for Half-Life War has been cancelled in favor of an episodic format for the mod, which means that we now have 3 episodes for the mod, with episode 1 obtaining a possible release date of April 2021, but that could still change. The Arctic environment we saw was moved to episode 2, and episode 1 is now going to take place in a green forest and in a desert area. Half-Life Alpha-style blood splatters and a screen shake effect for explosions have been added to the mod to make combat a little bit more girthy. These effects can be disabled in the console if you don't like them. A teaser was again shown here straight from a finished part of episode 1, showing off some more of the mod's gameplay and even some custom content for the mod. Some weapon changes were made again, and we got some interesting news about the mod's compatibility, because you'll only be able to play Half-Life War on the Steam version of Half-Life, not any other versions. This is due to code-related issues. And that is basically the most interesting stuff in this media update. The mod has a Discord server now. There, players can send feedback, suggestions, and talk about anything that has to do with Half-Life War. And that's it. That was all that was in this media update. Next! There is once again a lot of stuff discussed here in this media update from December 6th, 2020. For one, monthly updates have now been announced, meaning that Cambreaker is going to start posting media updates on the ModDB page for the mod every month. We also see the return of the demo in this media update. The demo version will include the first mission of Chapter 1, which is about 3 maps in total, screenshots of which you can see in this media update. For context, the first chapter is going to have 3 missions like the one we'll be able to play in the demo. This demo is set to be released somewhere later in December or in early January. Quite a ballsy move since it's already December when this media update was made. However, the first map has already been completed and beta tested, so there is a start. Some new models and weapons have also been introduced in this media update, like the Minigun, which is based upon the Half-Life Alpha minigun. It has also been announced that Mission 2 will take place in a terrorist base in the Middle East somewhere, and Mission 3 will take place in a city environment. Last but not least, there are still more weapons planned, like the AK-47 and the M14, but new weapons have been thought up as well, like the PP Bison, the double-barreled shotgun, and the M79 grenade launcher. Oh, and who doesn't like bodies flying through the air from explosions? Half-Life Invasion did something like this before, and I think it sounds like a pretty fun idea. Finally! The old trailer that was posted all the way back in 2018 was replaced by a brand new one made with the current progress of the mod represented in it. There is a new release date in this trailer as well, stating that Chapter 1 will be out somewhere in May 2021. Civilian models have gotten an update here also with the help of modder Brustrigger. Cambreaker is getting help from some more people now actually. A person called CS Time has been helping with some mapping related stuff as well. Some of their work can be found in a new trailer already. And a user called Creature has been helping on some sound design stuff. A new Beretta model is being made in Blender, and it'll replace the default Half-Life 1 Glock model. Oh, and now that we're talking about weapons, Tony now has new hand textures and the Desert Eagle has been improved as well. Oh, remember when Cambreaker was talking about ally grunts being able to accompany you on missions? Well, that has finally been implemented now. It's in a pretty basic form though, and this feature will be fleshed out better when more improvements can be made. Since the first level of Mission 1, which will be one of the 3 maps in the demo, has already been completed and playtested, Cambreaker has been able to take all of the feedback that he has obtained, and he was able to improve that level by adding more cover and alternate routes. Bodies flying up in the air have also been added now, and it looks pretty neat. Although Cambreaker does admit that it's not a completely flawless implementation because enemies still jib way too quickly, making the effect hardly noticeable sometimes. Last but not least, since level 2 is also being worked on hard right now, Cambreaker is saying that the demo might now release somewhere in February or March. Let's see if that actually happens. It's now April 4th, 2021, and the demo hasn't been released yet. The monthly update cycle has also been broken at this point. Most of the work in this media update were mapping related, and the mod just didn't progress much during the month of February. There is some good news about the mod though. Level 2 has been fully finished up and even shown in a screenshot here, and the 3rd level of the demo is now being developed. Some screenshots from level 3 are also being shown here, and it's starting to look pretty decent. This final demo level is actually based upon a map that was originally created for the mod all the way back in 2018/2019. An interesting addition to the mod is that weapons now carry an extra punch to them. High-powered weapons can now blast enemies across the room with a well-placed shot. This is shown in a nice video right here. The Desert Eagle from Opposing Force has now also been replaced with a Desert Eagle model from the Counter-Strike beta, and it has a scope now. The media update also shows a new shotgun model, also taken from the Counter-Strike beta. A new menu background has been added, and there is some word on what intro maps will be included with the official Chapter 1 release of the mod. Cambreaker wants the player to be able to roam around the TSO headquarters before starting their journey. Oh, the hole is now called TSO, by the way. This might be in place of the old bedroom/apartment starting place alluded to in early development. Oh, and a new release period for the demo has been announced here as well. Cambreaker is now aiming for a release date of this very month. Or maybe May, depending on what happens. The Chapter 1 demo for Half-Life War has officially been released to the public over on ModDB on July 17th, 2021. And I have played through it all, just for you. But let's go over some of the progress updates that have been listed here first, shall we? Because not only has the demo been released now, the demo also came with its own trailer. This trailer includes a couple of flyby shots of what we can expect to see in this demo. A new character has also been introduced here called Agent 6. He'll be aiding you in certain areas throughout the demo version. Expect to see more of him. Apart from his addition, terrorist models have also been updated, and the gas mask grunt ally has been replaced with this different grunt model. It's the Captain, and he has a little headset. Dr. Orange has also been announced to be this mod's music composer. His music can be heard throughout the demo, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Oh, and if you don't want to play the actual demo and see things for yourself, 2 screenshots from the final level of the demo are shown off here, so you can get an idea of what's on offer here. And you're really missing out, I'll tell you that. Alright, demo time. Starting up the demo, you'll immediately be greeted by the main menu, as video games usually do. The main menu looks decent enough, and we can finally see the custom background for it. Booting into the actual first map, we're shown some information about Tony Snyder. He's apparently 33 years old, and we're being informed that the location of our first mission will be in Poland at 1:12 in the morning. The first thing we see here is this grassy environment with some trees and rock walls surrounding it all. The mapping work here doesn't seem like anything super special, but it gets the job more than done. Immediately we're greeted by our first enemy standing on top of this cliff, trying to keep themselves warm. Now the death animation in this mod actually reminds me a lot of GoldenEye 64 for some reason. Just the over-exaggerated death here would fit right in with that game. In fact, even the soundtrack kind of reminds me of GoldenEye 64 here and there. Cambreaker never specifically mentioned that that game was an inspiration or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. The combat in this mod is actually pretty decent and more balanced than I would have expected. The weapons on offer here feel punchy and killing enemies with them feels pretty nice. The added bloodstream effect and the knockback on enemies also really do enhance the combat. And you know what? I thought the screen shake when explosions happen was gonna be too much, but it's actually implemented quite decently here. Yeah, you'll notice explosions a lot more, but it's not really all that intrusive and just serves to make the explosions seem like they have a bit more impact. Later on, we also meet with Agent 6, an operative that you serve. The game seems to not take his character all too seriously though, and there's even a funny moment in the mod where you meet him and he tells you that he's looking for a briefcase, only to find that it's right next to him. That moment definitely made me blow air out of my nose. Apart from that, Agent 6 helps you about once throughout the entirety of the demo in a combat scenario. And yes, he can die if you shoot him. I talk out of experience here. After his bit though, you're back on your own again. Let's talk a little bit about the difficulty here. I'd say that Half-Life WAR so far seems relatively easy. I always play mods on either easy or normal difficulty the first time to kind of get a feel of how they play first. You never know how the mod is balanced. You can probably easily crank the difficulty up to Tough Guy and still have a pleasant time through this experience. There's only one difficulty curve when you hit a train yard where you have to fight a bunch of terrorists. Maybe it was just me, but they just kicked my ass in this area. All in all, this was a pretty decent demo of things to come. It felt for the most part pretty good to play with just a few minor things that may need some attention. Definitely a good start though. I can't wait to see what's next for Half-Life WAR. It's now September 1st, 2021, so that means it's time to talk about the progress that was made in August. This one is rather short, so let's get into it straight away. Some cool stuff directly from Mission 2 is being shown off here. The M16 has officially been added to the mod with the help of Dr. Orange. It fires in bursts, and the model for it is actually a modified M4A1 from the Counter-Strike beta. A grenade launcher has also been added here. This is all shown off in a video. Terrorists now have a proper desert skin, making their attire a little bit more appropriate for the environment. A new bridge map is being shown off here as well in a gameplay trailer for Mission 2, and it honestly looks pretty cool. And some more screenshots can be found for Mission 2 as well. On November 1st, 2021, the latest progress update at the time of writing was posted. And this media update got some pretty big news. Because the whole episodic model that the mod has pretty much been built upon now has been completely scrapped. The mod is going to release as one singular package again once it's ready. A new team member has also been announced that will be aiding Cambreaker in the level design department. Their name is HL Raven, and they are currently the official second level designer on the team. We get some Mission 3 screenshots here as well, which look pretty neat. A plot outline for this mission has been posted here too. This mission is going to be about Tony going on a mission to infiltrate a terrorist base where he has to gather documents and a secret weapon. Not much more is known. A gameplay video is also provided here, taking place at night in a warehouse-like environment, both indoors and outdoors. There are also new grenade pickups implemented. When you find a singular grenade lying around, it gives you only one grenade. Makes sense, right? But if you find a grenade belt, it'll give you 3 grenades. And if you find a full box of grenades, it'll give you 5. Some smaller updates in this media update include terrorists now being capable of holding pistols. A helicopter will now appear in Mission 3, and the ModDB page has gotten a shiny new upgrade to make the mod feel a little bit more premium. And so far, that's the entire development history of Half-Life WAR, a mod that has been in development since 2018. Of course, by the time you see this video, more updates may have already been released. So go check out the ModDB page to stay up to date on this mod. You can also download the demo there. I also left some minor details out due to time constraints, and this video is already pretty darn long, so I hope you understand where I come from. So there are more little things to discuss discover about this mod that you can find on the ModDB page. So again, I highly recommend you go check that out. Half-Life War sure has a lot of development still ahead of it, but I think if it's managed well and polished further, it could become a pretty good time. And with the demo already clocking in at around 30 minutes, this will definitely be something we'll be sinking a lot of time into. You know where else you can sink a lot of time into? Our social media pages, of course. Our Twitter, Facebook, and an invite link to our Discord server are linked in the description below. So go follow us on there for regular Half-Life community news and memes even sometimes as well. So go follow us. And join our Discord server, of course, to talk about Half-Life stuff on there. It's really fun. We also have our very own Half-Life community platform that you can join to browse through thousands of posts made by users from the Half-Life community. You can see it right there on my screen. You can browse the site without having an account, or you can create an account and start posting yourself. So it's really up to you, but I recommend you actually make an account. Hey, I'm a living, breathing person, so if you want to check out my social media, my Twitter and my own YouTube channel, then you can do that as well by clicking the links in the description below. My name has been Mitch, and you have been watching the LambdaGeneration YouTube channel. Now don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell icon so you'll never miss another video. Salutations, and take care.